Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is the drive. Hop on in, and we're going to the bowl. Let's go to the bowl. Let's go. Big news today. Hop on in. Open the doors. Jump in the back. Fill up the seats. Let's go. We're on our way, man. I'm so happy. Ah, Jesus. I had to start the show late because all of a sudden I just like, holy crap, this just happened. Let's go. Let's go. I'm happy. Hey, quick shout out to one of my members, My Worthless Opinion. I don't know if you know this, man, but that video we did together got almost 6,000 views, man. Good job, man. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. Let's go. That's me. That's me talking. That's how happy I am. I had to talk to you guys while I wasn't even on the video. Let's go. Skolden's in the house. Let's go. Skull State of Mind. What's up, my man? Oh, man. I don't know. I'm pretty happy. I asked some of the other guys to jump on if they wanted to. I gave them the link, so maybe they'll show up sometime during the show. But hey, I'm here to talk to you guys. Let's go. I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you. Dalton Risner is a Minnesota Viking for a pretty cheap price. $4 million. $4 million, man. Might as well just award the Vikings the Barty now. We got Risner. You know what? I was short. I wasn't sure about, how good of an impact he will have, but I talked about in my other videos. This dude's got independent hands, man. You know what that means is he gets one hand on the pass rusher. It gets chopped down. He brings the other ones, brings it back. He does it like a master. And honest to God, they talk about him not being that great at run blocking. That guy gets downfield. He's one of those guys is the first guy down there to pick you up. He's a man of God even. This guy is going to bring the wrath with him to each game. This guy's blessed. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so happy. I was sitting there in Minneapolis thinking, when is this guy going to sign? I get back from Minneapolis. He's showing pictures of him in airports. Oh, my God. Let's go, man. So that kid, about damn time. He better start day one, man. He's got a whole week. He don't need any prep. Just throw him in there. Let's go. 2.4 guaranteed. Yeah, that's nothing. We cut him and lose $2 million. We got 1.6 left. My guess is he's on the team. He starts. This is a thought. This is a thought, guys. Bear with me here. If he's going to play left, if he's only played left guard, you know who's played right guard before? Cleveland. And he's actually been the only interior lineman that has actually graded as a starter on PFF. And honestly, hasn't played too bad. I think half our problem, 50% better if we just put someone else at right guard. I'm talking about 50% better if we put Brandel at right guard than Ingram. Ed Ingram, man. That's my thought process. You tell me if I'm crazy. But I think we're 50% better on the line. Like, we're that much improved if we just replaced one guy. Now that we got Risner, as long as Darrisaw comes back healthy, we're okay. But, hey, the silver lining with Oli Udoh going down, God forbid if there is one. He went down. We're losing for the year. That goes depth. Quisenberry is honestly a better football player than him, and a starter, an experienced dude, a guy that's fought cancer and won. This guy can play football. So Darrisaw, Quisenberry, some sort of combination there. I feel pretty good about it. And then Dalton Risner fixes a huge problem right now. If he could play right guard, it would be freaking fantastical. I'm making up words here. I'm so excited. All right. Oh God. Have you seen Happy Hulk? This is Happy Hulk. I don't know if there is such a thing. This is a Happy Purple Hulk. I don't know about you, but that deserves and to cue off of that, make sure you Hulk smash the like button. Get this video out there. Help me Hulk smash the YouTube algorithms. One more time. This is Happy Hulk, man. This is Happy Purple Hulk. Let's go. Let's go. Ah, gosh. My only worry about moving forward in the season, man, my only worry about moving to the season was this offensive line because our offense is grading out elite right now, even with the offensive line. We don't have fumbles. We're 2-0. If we cut the fumbles in half, we're 2-0 easily. Come on, man. Let's go. I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you guys. Tell me what you think. Let's go. Golden High School. Here we got some people saying hi. It's Super Bowl or bust now. It's a 1-year contract. We wouldn't call it Super Bowl or bust. We got a quarterback. We got so many players on 1-year contracts. I guess it would be Super Bowl or bust, but long term, we don't have much invested except for a few guys like TJ Hawkinson, hopefully Justin Jefferson. We don't have many long-term commitments right now. If it was Super Bowl or bust, yeah, we'd be throwing money at the wind, but hey, if Marcus Davenport can come back, we're really apparently our coaches in Kwesi are really high on him of being a good run defender. Now, I don't know if you've seen this around on Twitter too much, but Luke Braun put out our problem on 3rd and 8 is that we had one guy in there over 300 pounds and everybody else was 250. And we had a 7-man front against their defensive line. And they just ran it up 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 8 or whatever. Just boom, first down, no problem. Come on, we gotta coach better than that. We got to put players in the right position better than that. We're putting out fast guys to run the option. We were run down Jalen Hurts. So that game plan's out the window. It's going to be different moving forward. I think it'll be more effective against the run. We were just so worried about Jalen Hurts beating us that we forgot Swift can play football. Eisner good at run blocking. So that kid, he grades out like average at best at run blocking. But if you go look up Dalton Risner highlights, and you'll see that guy pass block like no tomorrow. One of the best in the league. But you'll also see him get to the second level to block. Pull. He was dominant in college. He was pretty dang good in the pros. He just grades. For some reason, he grades out low. But in his highlight reel, and again, that's a highlight reel. I see him being effective. Well, right now, nobody on our offensive line can block. So just the added fact that he'll help pass block will just help us so much more. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, he's underrated as a run blocker, I think, personally. Raymond's in the house. What's going on? Hope he brings the nastiness with them on that old line. This guy is as Christian as Kirk Cousins is, but those type of guys can bring the beast on the field just as good as anybody. But I'm looking forward to, man. This guy wants to play football. Honest to God, this guy wants to play football. I don't know why he wasn't picked up by a team. It's ridiculous why this guy wasn't on a field somewhere. Dan Henneman, I agree, man. Finally, what the hell were we waiting for? PFF doesn't think so, Sodak. Yeah, but again, underrated. PFF had our defense rated second last year. There's a lot of good things that think about how bad Denver was last year, guys. That could be guilt by association. So guilt by association with Denver last year. Who gets moved? Ingram? Well, yes. He is the weakest link, right? So what I'm thinking is two things. Either Risner comes in here and plays right guard because he's that talented, and he's never played right guard in the NFL apparently before, or he goes to left guard where he's natural, and Cleveland, who has experience playing right guard, although a little subpar, and again, he's advanced. He's a better player now. He might move to right guard, right? That's my thought process there. Of course, we won't know until someone leaks a report. We won't know. Not a great run blocker, but a decent pass blocker. Honestly, he's to me worthless opinion. If you go look at him, he's an elite pass blocker. You know what? I'm not even going to look at PFF grades. I'm going to trust my eyes. This guy pass blocks as good as anybody. You know what? I'm going to entertain myself. I'm going to pull up PFF because my worthless opinion brought it up. Let's find out. Let's find out what PFF thinks about Dalton Risner. All right. Dalton Risner. Man, you look handsome. You even look better in purple. 22. Pass blocking 72.6. Some reason it doesn't show him penalties. Very few. He's tied for first in the lead, or tied for 71st. What the hell? He had one. He had one penalty last year. Sacks allowed 3. Sacks allowed 3 compared to 11 at Ingram. Let's go look at 2023. One that was 2022. 73.6. 2 penalties. 4 sacks allowed. 2020, 0 sacks allowed. He had a 69, 0 penalties. This guy's pretty good. He's pretty good. I might be overblowing the elite part of it, but if you go look at his video, you just see things that he's just that good. And he's big too. I think what is he? 6'5", 312. I'll take it. He's a big dude. Strong dude too. If you guys watch the Eagles O-line, those guys look like hog mollies. I don't know. Our guys don't. Brian O'Neill is actually ranked PFF as the number 1 tackle in the league right now. Darisaw is an average starter according to PFF right now. So we need him healthy. I honestly think Dan Quisenberry is a better player than Oli Udoh. So, and Brandel probably is too. So I feel like we're okay at backup left tackle until he comes back healthy. I want the guy fully healthy. About time they made the correct move. Knowledge TV, tune into that television show because he is spot on. Can Risner play center? I have no indication that he can play center. Apparently every snap he's done has been at left guard. From all I know, who knows? Maybe Chris Reed can come back and play center. But Schlottman and Bradbury are almost the same, except Bradbury's a little better, probably smarter at the assigning blocking schemes and shifting the line to prevent the blitz and stuff. He's probably better at that. A little better with communication. I don't know about Schlottman. It seems like they're more confused with him in there. But I agree with Wave. Can be a bit mean and nasty. I'll be okay with that. Yeah, we need that. Skull, what's up? We got a few people saying hi. Awesome news, man. Awesome news. That's McAndrews. What's up, man? What's up, McAndrews? Skull for life. Saying hi again. What's Skull? Let's go, DJ Prods 917. Let's go. This is a happy day. We got something exciting. Something's exciting. Besides the Buccaneers leading the NFC Central Division from the 90s, 2-0, and then Packers and Lions are 1-1, and we're 0-2 with the Bears. This is like the Central Division over again, man. Let's go. McAndrews in the house. Yes, sir, he is. What's up? Who do we got? Some new people? No. Gosh, you guys say hi. It's great. That's the thing we all talk about, and amongst us YouTubers, is that the amount of people is such a community. So many people saying hi all the time to each other. Yeah. Yes, on Chris Reed. I guess he's able to come back. I don't know his injury. I don't know if he's out for the year or what. If anybody knows that info, let me know. But a few things that probably brightened our day this weekend is that the trifecta of losses that happen, and 2, 1 obscene because the Bears are that bad, and we're probably happy as hell that we didn't draft Fields now. We should be. Mobile quarterback will solve all problems, right? No, not the Bears' problems. All right. Their defense isn't all that great, but the Packers, Jordan Love, although 6 touchdowns, him and Kirk Cousins lead the league in touchdowns right now with 6. And so the Packers are probably better than we hoped, but still they haven't played the toughest talent, but they ended up losing, man. They ended up losing. Love threw for like they had like 9 yards offense, I think Tom Grassi said in the fourth quarter. So that's pretty awesome. But then they end up losing the game, man. They blow it. So that's pretty happy. Lions blow it. Gosh. They go and tie the game, they end up losing OT and just let them go down and score a touchdown. So a lot of good things, man. All right. I think I might got a joiner here. Let me see if I can get him on here. All right, we're gonna get somebody joining. I actually don't know who it is, but I think we're gonna get one of the boys to join here, and we can have him talk about it too. But hey, you know, some of the things I want to talk about. What do you guys think about Cam Bynum? Do you feel like he's the real deal now? Because I had him being a nice backup in the league, but he's impressed me so much. We can't have him making as many tackles as he has. That's not good for our defense. But hopefully that changes. What do we got here? Sure. I got guys telling me they can join. Yeah, sure. Yes. Come on in. I'm getting Yogi. Or Catch 84 to come on in. Yes, come on in. Yeah, I'm getting some people to join us. A few extra bodies in here. We can talk Vikings. Now, Cam Bynum, what do you guys think about that, man? Is he the real deal? I want to hear it. Tell me what you think, man. Is Cam Bynum the real deal? Do we have a worry about extending another safety? And we'll have the combination of Cam Bynum and Metellus as our feature starters. And I wasn't too happy that now Lewis Seen seems to be the last safety on the depth chart, or at least fifth. So yeah, that's not making me happy all that much. Again, unfortunate injury and coming back from that, and trust is probably an issue. And in his second year of a 4-year contract, let him come back and compete in the fall. Hopefully, he steps up, get some playing time. But right now, apparently, there's just no trust there. But he is the fastest guy probably the fastest guy in the secondary, and it'd be nice to have that going on. Yeah, none of the guys are joining, even though they asked if they could. All right. All right. Hopefully they join. Let me give them the link again. What do we got here? Yeah. Yep. All right. Hopefully we get a couple guys. All right. Now, running back issues. Everybody's God forbid anybody has to go through it. Alexander Madison had to go through, but we still got to talk football. I'm really impressed with the amount of fans, especially from our group, that tweeted or did videos on him. This is my first time speaking about it on air, but God forbid, such a great guy, great family, has to go through something like that. Nobody should ever have to go through something like that. Um, Unfortunately, it's pretty common for people to reach out to famous people and just be absolute assholes, and that should never happen. Now, I'm not. Alexander Madison had a pretty bad game last game. He dropped 2 balls that I know of, and he fumbled twice. One came back. But Dalvin Cook isn't doing much better, and their starting running back over there is doing fine, and he's got 40 yards on the field, on the year, and actually Alexander Madison has more than him. So Alexander Madison can bounce back, and honestly, one of the passes to him was high. He had to jump for it, but it went through his hands. So there's some fault for Kirk there, but he did have a rough game. But we're not blocking for him either. So give me some. There's frustration to go around on that situation. Yeah, Dan Henneman. It's just dumb people. Dumb people just it's like an anonymity. They just trying to troll people, be the most just I don't know what's the word for it, just dark, just to be dark to see how someone reacts, and they're probably getting off on the fact that it is national news now. That's just the probably part of the truth of it is guys will say or do anything just to get a reaction, and honestly, that's why I don't talk about it. I don't want to fuel that any more than I have. I tweeted about it. I four different comments on social media about it, but I don't want to give it any more oxygen, honestly. And I hope the team rallies around it rather than it becomes a distraction. And he and the NFL and the US is better for it being out there and it being acknowledged. So this just sucks and it's terrible. And I don't want to give whoever the assholes were any more oxygen. So I am turning the page. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sticking by Alexander Madison. Great family, great dude. All right. So Dalvin Cook isn't the answer. You know what? I do think it's probably has earned Ty Chandler more opportunities. He looks pretty good in the screen game, honestly. And we've avoided doing tight end screens this last game, so that's good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think, what do we got? What's up, man? Let me add him.
What's up?
Let me get you in here. All right. What do we got going on, man?
What's
Thanks for
that?
joining.
Yeah, I was trying to join without using my phone, but for some reason I couldn't get the link to work on my computer, so I'm on my phone. I'm excited, especially for the price. I mean,
Jesus, I wouldn't
1
even have
year.
thought that. I thought more. I thought 8 or at the minimum 6, like very
Yeah,
minimum.
4 years, 1.25, 1.2 was it 1.5
No, it's
guaranteed? I mean, that's a steal.
4 million. You said 4 years. 1 year, 4
Yeah,
million.
sorry,
Year.
1 year, 4 million two at
I thought
1.23
you would
guaranteed.
had to give up 2 year. I honestly thought you'd had to give up like a 2-year, $8 million a year contract to get a guy like that. And we didn't. We just had 1 year, and he can earn his job, and we move forward with a pretty damn good offensive guard. Any word on whether or not he is you think he's gonna just take over the left guard spot? Ingram's out, and Cleveland goes to right, or is he gonna go to right? What do you think is gonna happen?
Nothing this week. I think the best thing for him this week would be scouting the Chargers because he played against them last year. So I don't think he's going to play this week. I mean, he might dress, he might be emergency backup, but I think after this week, I think he replaces Ingram. I think if you listen to the preseason, they were saying that they were not happy with Ingram's footing, how he did his steps, his footwork. They were not happy with it, and I think they wanted to see how he did in the regular season. Ingram has regressed, and I think they've realized that he's regressed. I don't know if the offensive line coach, who, by the way, had Risner in Denver, was like, hey, Ingram is regressed. We need to get my guy in here. We know it's going to take him a couple weeks to get him up to speed, but Kirk Cousins is going to get killed if the offensive line continues to play this way. And O'Neal,
I was saying a little bit earlier that I think 50 we might be 50% better just replacing one guy.
Oh yeah,
that's how much a detriment he was. And honestly, Cleveland has played okay, but having Darisaw out is going to kill us.
Is Darisaw out Sunday? Has it been announced that he's out?
Well, if he's out, sorry, if he's being out, like the last game he was out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't mean to say it was officially out, but him being out this last game for most of it, and then honestly, Quisenberry I felt like is a better player than Oludo. So I thought that was a hell of a good move.
Yeah,
we picked him up and gave us good depth. I think Quisenberry and Brandel are good players and gives us decent depth. I think they're decent depth. We have a terrible, our interior line's a problem, but we have two. I feel between Darisaw and Quisenberry, we're going to be okay there. Even Brandel can play left tackle decent.
Well, the thing about it is Ingram is so bad that he's making O'Neal look kind of bad this year because he's having that.
O'Neal's actually PFF ranked number one,
right? Which is saying something. Which is saying something because he's having the cover for O'Neal. I mean, he's having the cover for Ingram. So you can see it where he's off of his guy, and then he's always looking to his left to see, do I need to cover for Ingram? I mean, you can't with the players that O'Neal has to go against. You can't always be checking your left to make sure that your quarterback is not going to get killed.
Big shout out for Gary entering the house. Little Viking horn for you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, good news Monday, man. Good news Monday. I was hoping for this. I don't know, man. I can't believe this is happening. This is my Skull family. I was just talking about Madison. And
I had
how I don't want to give it any more oxygen.
We did a
reaction.
Last night we did like a weekend we did like an NFC North review show last night. Instead of doing their normal Sunday night post game. And one of our regulars, Sarah, made a comment about Madison, and that was my time to go off. I had to cut myself short because I didn't want YouTube to strike the channel or do something because of something I would say.
Like for me, I made my statements on Twitter. I addressed it on this show right before you jumped on, and now I'm turning the page because these guys that did this shit want to see everybody talk about it. They want the reaction. They get off on it, and I say internally, if Vikings rally, turn all this into a positive. The awareness is out there, and obviously the NFL and teams will do something about it. But for me, I'm like, I don't want to give. It's like I don't want to say the killer's name when they in a mass shooting. I don't want. I want that guy to be famous. But hey, shout out to Minnesota Sports Talk with Al Smith. With a name like that, with a full name like that, you need to come on and be part of the show, man. But hey, he's on the bandwagon again for now. I think that's that big a move. Let me give another shout out. We got Crown Jews. What's on? Let's go. Let's go.
Unfortunately, I'm on my phone. I can't. That's so small. I can't see the chat.
Oh, I understand. I'm shouting them out. Hey, so how do you feel? How'd you feel about this weekend seeing all three, the trifecta of losers?
Well, for those of you, I know Gary was there. For those of you that watched my the weekend review, the Bears are who we thought they were.
Yep.
The Lions turned into the Lions, and the Packers have not really played anybody. And unlike the past years. Unlike past years, when their quarterback has had to make a play for them to come back and win a game, Jordan Love could not make. He looked lost. He was throwing out.
Team disappeared in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, they disappeared. They had 9 yards, I think.
Yeah, Tom Grassi did a video and he brought that up.
Yeah, he's awesome. But if you guys, I know he's a Packer fan, but he's an awesome YouTuber.
Yeah, so I think everybody associate.
Yeah,
I think everybody I associate has a lot of respect for Tom Grassi.
So, but no, I'm happy about this because we all know the one thing that Risner can do is pass block. And what do the Vikings need? Because KOC is not running the ball. So we need a pass blocker.
So someone brought that up in the chat a little while ago, and I'm going to ask your thoughts on it, is that this help, even though they think he's not that great of a run blocker, I honestly think he's underrated, and he might be guilt by association because they were so bad last year. The Broncos. So my thought is that he helps us so much in the pass game that it overcompensates. But honestly, he's one of those guys, if you go look at his video, he's that first guy running down there picking up the running back. He's all guts and glory. He tries his hardest. He gets to the second level. He's mobile. He's also big. He's 312 and 6'5". He's he's a lineman you like to see. That's what I think about him. So.
And it's the same thing with our defense from last year where Brian Flores coming in. He can't get much worse. He can't be worse than Ingram.
Yeah. So what do you think? Here there was I brought this up a little earlier too. The defensive. So a guy who's been on one of my shows quite a bit, Luke Braun, he's on Twitter and he's showing what went wrong with our run defense. And there's like a 2nd and 8, and we got we got one 300-pound dude in there, and then the rest of the dudes are 250 or lighter, and we have a 7-man front, and they got 2 tight ends, and I lost him. We'll bring him back as soon as we can. I think he'll hop back on. But here we go. What do we got here?
Use my phone.
Fine, man. I understand. So Luke Braun talked about having a 7-man front with a big nickel personnel in there, and on a 2nd and 8, and Swift just ran up the middle for for a touchdown. Yeah. Was it the touchdown or to get tackled? He got tackled before the touchdown. I think he didn't. I don't think he broke it, but just to have that, everybody else was 250 or less. There's only one guy that was 250, one guy was 300, and everybody was 225 or less, it seemed. But yeah, and they had a two tight end situation. We're going in there small, and they blow it for a long run. I think it was more of a game plan decision because of Hurts, because we contained him because we had a fast team in there all the time, but it didn't help us because they were just running the same play up the middle. This isn't working too well, but glad we made the move. Kirk is sitting duck behind Ingram. I was saying this, Crown, and you can tell me if you agree.
I put myself on do not disturb so I don't get any more messages.
Oh, is that what's happening? Oh,
yeah.
But what do you think of that? I think it was a game plan decision to try to limit Hurts, but if we don't fumble, the game plan works, right? If we don't fumble all the time, the game plan works. Well, but in this case, they just ran the ball and ran out the clock on us.
If JJ doesn't fumble, no, that's the one fumble. I'm not going to kill JJ because he's trying to score a touchdown, but that was the one fumble I think that changed kind of changed the momentum. I think they did an awesome job stopping Hurts. I mean,
yeah, they did.
The reason they won that game was because the Vikings defense just got tired with the run game. So
I just think we had an undersized team in there all the time.
Roy is actually pretty big, so he needs to. I don't know what's going on with him. He needs to get out there.
He didn't even suit up.
I think I don't know if he's still hurt because I know he was hurt in the preseason. So I think that's. But not. The biggest issue with the Vikings is that they don't have the personnel for a 3-4. They have 4-3 personnel.
Not disagreeing.
So they just need to do a hybrid. Run 3-4 sometimes. Run a 4-3 when you have to.
What do you think of bringing Akeem Hicks in here just to play first down?
They need something more than what they have. I think
they don't have a nose tackle apparently because they don't think Tonga should play either.
Well, Tonga is not as big as you would think he would be.
Yeah, he's not, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
he's Phillips
as our nose tackle.
Phillips gets double teamed pretty much every play.
Yeah, he's playing well though. He's trying his best. He really looked good in the first game. Just outmatched the second, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't. Sorry, I got confused by that message by Justin. I think they need bigger guys in the trenches. So Akeem Hicks. What's the worst that can happen? You sign him, he doesn't work out. You're out with the veterans minimum. It's worth a shot.
Right.
You need some girth
in there. He probably wants a little more than a veterans minimum, but
Well, the veteran minimum for someone like him, I think, is pretty much like $5 or $6 million.
I don't know, veteran minimum. If that was the case, then we would have some $5 or $6 million dudes on our roster, I would think. I think it's definitely more than a rookie, right? Yeah, I don't think.
It's definitely more than a rookie.
I think it's like $2 million or something.
He's like 10-year vet, isn't he? Somewhere around there.
Oh yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, so
I just don't think it's $5 million though. I think it's. I remember back in the day when it was a difference between 500 and 800,000, but I know inflation has brought it up quite a bit.
Yeah. No, I
haven't looked at it lately.
I'm definitely excited for what Brian Flores has done with the defense so far. We don't have to.
Part of it.
Yeah, well, just in general, they're playing better than what they did last year.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with the. Maybe it's just a Jalen Hurts regress passing, but our pass defense looked really good. Except for we're gonna expect the broken, the play where they break a long one. They did that twice against us, and those are the things that we're gonna have to live with this defense. But most part, and it was different because they still kept people in front of them, and they kept him from getting yards. But the difference between this and the last defense is that we were getting after the quarterback, and so that kind of thing works if you can get after the quarterback.
And it's also nice that when they would throw like an out, like a 7 or 8 yard out, we actually had defenders there, and they weren't sitting back 12 or 13 yards waiting for the offensive guy to come to them like they were last year. So
it looks like the veteran in 2021 the veteran minimum was 1.12 million.
But doesn't it go by years invested though? Doesn't it go up for every year invested?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. We'll table that.
I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking.
I don't think it's 5 though.
I think I'm thinking. I think I'm thinking of MLB. I think MLB does that.
Well, they do. They have that too.
Yeah.
I think theirs is pretty a little more higher than the NFL. So yeah, Crown Jews, if you're still on, what do you think this will do, man? Do you think I said this earlier, and you can maybe comment a little bit after this? Is I thought that's 25-50% of our problem. This is replacing Ingram, and I think we would actually have a average or better line after we do that. That's my thought process, because he's digging a hole right now. And you're right, and I'm gonna give you kudos for that. Is he's regressed. I had optimism that he was improving throughout the year, but he has regressed. And the preseason looked, in my opinion, terrible that first game he played. So that, and now the second, the Bucks game, terrible. I haven't done a replay of the last game, so I'm not going to comment about that yet. I'm sure it was bad too, but I'm gonna hold my tongue on that. But he regressed. What do you think about that?
Well, he got beat like he always does. It wasn't as bad as the Bucks game, but it was still pretty bad. Yeah, I had hope for him too, because the stuff they heard about him coming out of school was good. But yeah, I don't think there's much of a drop off between Bradbury and Schlottman. I think Bradbury might be a little bit better. So that really doesn't really affect our offensive line. But the Ingram is such a big hole that Risner only has 80. If we get 85% of what Risner was last year, that's still 100% better than what Ingram gives.
Let me give a shout out to Minnesota Sports Talk with Al. No, because I've had a 13-year-old on my show. So if you want to jump on right now, Al, I put the StreamYard link. Just put that in a search function and then enter, and you can jump on right now. Or if you don't want to right now, because I'm putting you on the spot, feel free to contact me at mnsportspodcast@gmail.com. MN like Minnesota, sportspodcast@gmail.com, and we'll get you on one of my shows. I need someone for Wednesday, so feel free to do that. Great show. Gary says to you, man. All right.
I'm going to switch to the stream link that you put in the chat. Get off my phone.
Sure. I think when Bradbury comes back, it should help us. It can't get no worse. Risner going to bring passion to the O-line. I agree with you, Crown, man. Bradbury's just a little bit better. He's smaller, but is smarter as far as getting the protections done than Schlottman. I think people get confused when Schlottman's in there, so I think that will help us out, if anything. So when you throw him in there, you throw Risner in there, you got either Quisenberry or Darrisaw. I think both of them are good players. Darrisaw obviously can be elite when healthy. And a quick shout out. I got a little, let me see here. Brand. Okay. A little What do we got here? Little air horn.
Dollar, that's what I need. Hey, well, I need
the Manziel.
That's what
Feel the hope. Make me dance. And one last thing. Everybody likes, where to go? Where to go? Here.
Cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Get the straight cash, homie. Thanks to you, Hope. You're still my biggest contributor, I think. So I appreciate it.
Is that too evil? Is that or is that Colin Cowherd?
Yeah, what do you think of Colin Cowherd, man? I don't know if anybody's seen my couple videos I've done on Colin Cowherd. I played the comments, and I might bring it up here.
I don't know how you can look at that game and think it's Cousins' fault. I just don't. I mean, which is funny because Colin used to be he used to support Cousins.
He's lazy. That's what it is. He's gotten fat. Not that he physically, but he's gotten fat and lazy in his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me bring that up really quick. I'm gonna bring up a couple videos. Let's see here. Oh, here. Let me do a couple things.
Sure.
I'm gonna bear with me, guys. I'm gonna bring up some stuff off of Twitter and share my screen really quick. What do we got here?
It's hard to be the host and the producer at the same time.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard. So if you see here, this is what Luke Braun was talking about. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. All right. So we got edge rusher 263, 226 with a safety sneaking up, 231, 236, 307, and 264 with I think that might be Metella. No, that's a linebacker. That's going up against a double tight end set, if I'm not mistaken. Or yeah, I thought there was supposed to be two. Yeah. No, it's just 7-man front.
You can't.
But it's against their line, and they ended up just blowing that for a huge gain. So, that's the kind of example where that was part of the game plan, I think. Now here's the NFC Central standings. If you haven't seen this yet, Buccaneers are 2-0. I'm taking us back to the 90s. Let's see.
76 to 2002. I think that was his division.
And here's Jordan Love showing his eliteness. His King in the North skills on doing a quarterback sneak. They called him for illegally running into the butts of his center and right guard. Now tell me this. What would you think if Kirk Cousins did this late in the game?
Look, I mean, it would be the best meme ever.
Yeah, everybody would just go into town on him. Look at that handsome devil. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. All right. But
I'm not crazy about neck beards, but that's a pretty impressive neck beard.
Yeah, neck beards are in. Neck beards are in. Let me find.
Never have.
Let's look at this play. I brought this play up here. This is QB school. This is Addison's touchdown. We're throwing a bubble. We're faking a bubble screen to KJ Osborne here. Let me move it forward.
Essentially,
he then pump fakes. He pump fakes that, and then he looks off the safety
committed
to TJ Hawkinson.
To what I'm going to say, the three eligible side.
It's TJ Hawkinson. That's the safety that came down
to
go one-on-one.
Huge opportunity for the
and
post.
He steps up.
So it's a really well-constructed.
That was a beautiful play call, beautiful play design by KOC, and honestly, it could work in many different ways. We could throw the bubble screen. The safety could not come down and guard Addison, and we could have TJ Hawkinson with a big play. So this is a play you can be a staple in your offense, running on both sides with three options. I think it was well designed, and it can be used often in this in our scheme moving forward. What do you think?
It's like that conversation that we had in the text message chain. The all 22 doesn't lie. The TV copy can lie to you. The all 22 doesn't lie. So there's a lot of plays that are made or missed on the field that a lot of people see on TV. Well, he missed that guy that was wide open. Well, he may look wide open on the TV copy, but the all 22 copy says he's not open.
So there's been a couple plays, like there was the last play of the Buccaneers game where he throws it to Addison. Someone says, "Oh, JJ was wide open." No, JJ had a guy on him when the ball was in the air, and his guy peeled off when he saw the ball in the air, and then he had a safety. It was a safety deep. Now, if you're 3rd and 8 or whatever, and you're throwing, if you see your first read past the first down with the game on the line, you're probably throwing it to the first read. That's with the game on the line, in my opinion. And then there was another play where some Twitter guy says, "Oh, that Kirk threw the ball short to KJ Osborne over on the left, and then he had Josh Oliver going behind him." But Josh Oliver, and he said he was wide, or no, it was Addison. Sorry, Addison was behind him, and he was wide open. Well, no, he wasn't. When the ball released the air, his guy left him to go after the ball. He was not wide open, and the ball was in the air. Addison was still, and the ball was in the air. Addison wasn't even out of his break yet. So he throws it to KJ Osborne, mind you, short, and it was a second to last drive, cost us a first down. But like you said, you don't know until you watch the all 22 or stop it, watch it a few times. There's been mistakes by Kirk Cousins, but not many. How do you feel about his performance so far?
Well,
besides the turnovers, we don't want to talk about that.
Well, I've never been a Cousins hater because as someone who played, I played the sport. Quarterbacking is not hard. It's not easy. It is one of the hardest things, probably the hardest position to play in all professional sports. There's 32 teams. You don't even have 32 guys who are capable of being a high caliber, high level quarterback. Now, Kirk Cousins is where he is. He's a top, I would say anywhere. I guess the consensus is anywhere between 10 and 15 is where you would put him. So he's somewhere in there. That's still.
You know what?
That's better. There's billions of people in the world. If you're 15th out of billions of people, you're pretty good.
I put him at 8 last year going into the season, and he finished 6th in my opinion, 5th or 6th in my opinion, because that's where he finished in touchdowns and in yardage. Year before he finished 9th. He's always been almost every year statistically in the top 10, but no one wants to put him in the top 10 at quarterback. And then last year he was 4th in yards and 5th in touchdowns, and we still say he's 12, 13, 14. No, I had him in top 6. In fact, I'm not a Herbert denier, but he just hasn't won either. So why? And we beat him when he comes here. So he blew a huge lead in the playoffs. All these things. Why is Herbert being put above him? So I grudgingly put Herbert above him because of potential. But right now he's playing at a high level. He's number 2 in yards right now, tied for 1 in touchdowns. He's got a 8 yard per attempt average right now, which is best in his career. So we're really, I like the fact that we're throwing downfield, and it's worth the risk for a sack. And he's only been sacked 4 times, which puts him in the middle of the pack in the league right now. People talk about, hey, we need a mobile quarterback. Kirk Cousins getting killed. He's getting sacked all the time. No, he's in the middle of the league. So the risk reward is there because we are moving the ball and it looks great, and we're a big chunk play team, and you got to love that. Now, someone just said here, we need to be able to run the ball, mix that in. What I liked about that last game, and you can talk about it, is that we didn't give up we were still running play action and it was working. Even though we couldn't run the ball, which was kind of crazy, we were still putting that threat out there and it was working. That's kind of crazy, don't you think?
Hey, what's the
ball, but it was still working.
I mean, even the Kirk Cousins haters can say, because even Tom Brady said this. They asked Tom Brady, "You're good at play action. Are you the best? Are you the best guy in the league at play action?" He goes, "No, that guy from Minnesota is the best play action quarterback in the league." So I think the threat of the running game is enough because he's so good at it. But I still think we need to run more. I think we've ran 30 times in 2 games, if that.
Not a lot.
Yeah. But,
let's hear from one of the bigger Kirk Cousins haters.
Yeah.
This chump.
So I think the Kirk Cousins thing, these big TV Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night standalone games, Kirk Cousins is just bad at them. There's no getting around it. He is just bad. So I think the Kirk
That is just ridiculous.
Why don't you look at his Thursday night stats there, Colin?
Well, and this is the thing. There's a guy on Twitter, Janik, who put out going into this game, Kirk Cousins played 17 primetime games. He's amassed in primetime in 17 games, which is a full season of games. He's amassed 4,400 plus yards, 33 touchdowns with like 13 picks.
Yeah,
that's a Pro Bowl season of 17 games. What they never do show you is the 27, 28 points a game the defense has given up, and the crazy turnover battle.
The fact that he's never had a defense get a turnover in any of his playoff games, and either a Joe Burrow defense.
Oh yeah, they compared Joe Burrow.
They had like 8 turnovers in that one postseason run. Yet the Vikings defense has never given him a turnover in the playoffs, and they scored the same amount of points. The only difference is instead of giving up 18 points, the Vikings defense
and like the Cincinnati has like 15 turnovers, right? And there's 0 for Kirk Cousins, but Joe Burrow is Joe Burr, and he's got 15 turnovers in the defense.
Yeah,
and they're giving up 10 less points a game.
And my biggest issue was the playoff.
You know what? I think they need to think about why Joe Burrow still has value to trade him to the Jets. I'm just kidding. Obviously, it's not a serious statement, but that's the kind of crap people are talking about Kirk, even though he is playing better than almost everybody not named Tua, and maybe and he's got more touchdowns than him. So it's just kind of crazy. We clean up these turnovers. We're talking about MVP race between Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins.
Well, Eva, we're not talking about the regular season. We're talking about the postseason. He's never had a defense in the postseason. His defenses have given up. They average giving up 28 points per game, and they've never gotten him a turnover.
Yeah, they give him 10 more points than Cincinnati's defense in the same amount of games with Joe Burrow at quarterback, and 15 less turnovers. Yeah. So it's that crazy of a difference. So,
we're not talking regular season. We're talking postseason. Yeah.
Yeah. Too the hope. I couldn't even read one of his comments today, but
Too Evil's consistent. I'll give him that. Too Evil's consistent.
He's consistent.
Yes.
Yeah, see, we're just talking about playoffs here, Too the hope. He's had a 15th ranked defense with the Vikings. And it was pretty good, and he didn't make the playoffs. And then the next year did and beat the Saints in the playoffs on the road in overtime. Looked good doing it, but lost to San Francisco, and the whole team didn't play very well.
Yeah, they were out physical against San Francisco.
And I love this. Some people tell me, well, hey, 13-4, oh great, regular season doesn't matter. Do you think somebody's telling Joe Burrow or Herbert right now, hey guys, be calm, regular season doesn't matter? No, you got to win in the regular season. What do you think all those guys yesterday all those guys that lost at noon? And Kirk Cousins lose on Thursday night with 4 turnovers, playing awesome, and those guys lose at noon. So, I mean, shouldn't they be embarrassed for losing at noon? I just never thought the thought process of, it just means more on Monday or Thursday night. But if you lose on noon, what does that say about you? You can't play when it's easy, or you can't win at home, just things like that. It's just silly when you start talking about that.
Kirk himself didn't have 4 turnovers either,
Right.
But I mean, he's the quarterback, so he's going to get most of the blame and all that type of stuff. So I get it.
It's definitely the turnovers this last game. We should. I feel solace that if we curtail these turnovers, we could have been 2-0. But hindsight is 20/20, right?
Well, people like to bring up quarterback win-loss records too. I think that, to me personally, that's the most useful stat for quarterback, because unless your name is Tom Brady. And I think for some reason, like there's like a quarterback that wasn't very good. I think it's like Trent Dilfer. So I'm not saying it's Trent Dilfer, but someone like Trent Dilfer, to where it gets 500 teams.
Garoppolo.
It's like Garoppolo, to where it gets 500 teams. Like those are like the top 2 quarterbacks in NFL history, and I think it's Garoppolo's because he played for San Fran on defense, and Brady, and we all know Brady, but like Peyton Manning, Favre, Rodgers, all those guys, they're pretty much maybe, a 515, 516 winning percentage against 500 teams.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is the same way, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that comparison come out, but and I like Aaron Rodgers. What are you going to say about him? Yeah. So yeah, it's across the board.
Yeah, and then last year with the playoff game, the Kirk Cousins throwing at the T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, blaming him. Oh, the reason they lost that game was on him. No, I understand he's the quarterback. Quarterbacks get the majority of the blame, but the problem with Kirk Cousins is, unlike most quarterbacks, that when he plays well and the team wins, he doesn't get the praise. That's my issue. Yeah. That's my issue. But hopefully this year will be different. I mean,
I guess what you're saying, or what I see is, I can kind of agree with you, is like when he does win, they go, yeah, but it wasn't prime time, or it wasn't a playoff game. He was always has a but behind it.
Exactly.
Oh, let me give a shout out to KB Plays. What's up, man? I hop on, signed lineman. Okay. He's talking about Risner. Let's go. I joined for a little bit, then I'm going to go eat. Oh, did he join?
I don't know if he joined.
Okay. Sorry, if you did, I didn't see you pop on. That's my bad. Give me a heads up. I got to read this. Let's see what Two Evil Hopes got to say. Okay, what would you sign Cousins to next season, barring a 1-year extension, which he had already stated he doesn't want? How many years at the average salary with how much guaranteed? First of all, where can you show me a quote where Kirk Cousins says he would not sign a 1-year contract? Then get back to me. That was behind the scenes leak negotiation stuff, and I don't believe any of it, but I believe some of it, but not all of it. Vice versa. I was on record saying that we should have signed him. We should extend him through 2024 if we could. There was word that he would be a 2-year deal. He'd want a 2-year deal. They wanted a 1-year extension. They wanted 2 years, but maybe not all guaranteed. It's back and forth. All this is, we have no idea what's going on personally. And I think it probably was a mistake going in here, not giving the confidence to your quarterback, not giving confidence to the team that he's going to be here next year. I think that was a missed opportunity, and it's a missed opportunity with Justin Jefferson. Both things can be distractions, but honestly, both of them are handling it better than any NFL player in history. What do you think?
Well, the biggest thing to me is people just need to stop with, he makes this much money, he makes that money. Okay, there's a thing called supply and demand. Quarterbacks are supply and demand. So you're going to make a lot of money as a quarterback. That's just the way it is. Even bad quarterbacks make a lot of money. That's just the nature of the beast. But I would like him to take a little bit less, because he says he wants to retire a Viking. So you already have your guaranteed money. You already have one of the best contracts you could ever ask for. So take a little bit less. Let them sign if they have to re-sign Risner to a long-term contract, let them free up the money so they can do that. Free up the money so they can sign some defensive players. So you want to be here. You can make 18, 19, $20 million a year. That's perfectly fine. You've already made, How much
are you saying? I was reading a comment. How many?
Oh, I was saying he's, 18, 19, 20 million, somewhere around there. I don't know if he'll go that low, but I mean, but Brady took less money all the time. He didn't take as much as people thought he did, but he still took less money to win. If Cousins really wants to win, because like I said, he's made his money, re-sign a 2-year contract for $44 million, $22 million a year.
So right now he's the 15th highest paid quarterback in the league.
Right.
By average, 15th. Right. And everybody's like, and it's not his fault that, our GM put some of that money in the future, and it's going to haunt us a little bit.
Yeah, 53 point.
But even if you took 40, that's still probably a cheaper deal than the market, right?
I don't know, 40. That's a lot.
That's a lot, but it's still starting next year. That's probably not even. Will it even put him in the top 10?
Well,
next
Mahomes
year.
makes what, 35, right?
No, he signed for like 45 a year. And then there's a couple guys over 50 right now.
Burrow. I know Burrow.
I guess Rodgers took less, but he's still like 37 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't see a player doing that. An NFL PA would go absolutely apeshit if you, as a quarterback, take less. And we're talking about Tom Brady taking 24 million. That was, how many years ago kind of thing.
Well, he was probably worth 30. He probably took $5 or $6 million left.
Yeah, and he was also making money selling watches and cars, and we got Kirk Cousins slinging KFC right now. That was his biggest ad he's ever done in his life. So he's making his money somewhere else. He's got a brand. He's got championships. He's got all this. Kirk Cousins doesn't have that. It's just your money's coming from how well you play. So I can see it. I want him to take less too. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And I think he was about to.
JJ. You got to sign JJ.
Yeah, that's where everything will be. Oh, here we got somebody here. All right, what's up, man? Is your name Al?
Yep.
All right, Al. What's up, man? How you doing?
Not much. You?
I'm not much. Just hanging out, talking about the Vikings. Tell me what you think about Risner signing with us. What's your take on that?
Man, it's a good signing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's going to improve our own line and shit like that. So yeah.
What do you think about the game this Sunday? Do you think we're the better team if we cut out these turnovers?
Thursday?
No, the next game. Game.
Oh, I mean, we can cut down the turnovers, be the better team. But I feel like if we become a shootout, man, it's gonna be a shootout. So it's gonna be like they will at least score like 30 points.
You think so? If we don't turn the ball over, we probably score over 30 each one of these last two games. In my opinion,
I feel that same way. But I feel like he should have caught the ball first and then like just held on to it.
You're talking about Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, because that. In my way, it kind of made me mad,
Well, he's he's probably so frustrated that he's always getting stopped at the 1 yard line. Like this guy he's gotten so many. How many touchdowns did he get called back last year? It looked like he went over and he got called back. I can see the frustration. Kirk Cousins gave a wink saying, "Hey, we're told that, hey, if it's not fourth down, don't stretch for the ball." And he kind of smiles when it, and KOC says the same thing, but they're not going to fault him for it. And I really respect Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he took the blame for the loss, which he shouldn't be doing. He's not nowhere near.
He shouldn't be doing that, man.
I'm referring to the fumble, but yeah, I think he took the blame for the loss. He said he was blaming himself for the loss too.
I mean, it's also just like the key factor of winning the game. So, yeah, I don't blame him. But it's not his fault, though, so.
Little shout out to Lamont Murray. Thanks for showing up, man. Too evil to hope. I'm not ignoring you, but there is a salary cap, and right now, all our players right now are under it, and we got about probably 14 million left. Or 14 million left, so we can get some more players. Let's win this year, man.
What they need to do is spend on D-line help. Like that, they got torched.
Yeah, and I think it was also what we put out there position-wise on the front, and that's 3-man fronts a lot of the game. Probably doesn't help that run defense.
I'm gonna say this because the one game. It's important. It's how we win football games. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is, if I'm crazy, I'll sign them because all our D line they're short except for Deion Hunter. What's his name? Marcus Davenport.
Yeah.
And cool. I'm gonna sign a huge, not huge, but like he's like at least over the limit to be like a D line, like an interior D lineman. And I'll put them in the middle. And, like if it's like in the goal line or it's like a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3 situation, or a 3rd and some, And if they run the ball, I'm gonna put them in there.
Yeah, we were talking a little earlier ago about maybe signing Akeem Hicks and I was like, just play him on first down for heaven's sake. He wouldn't cost much, and he's
Yeah,
a big
he's
man.
I mean, and plus he could help out the defense. You know what I'm saying? He can go through like a lot of things. Like he can stop the like the run. He probably can do a little bit of pass rushing too.
A little response to Too Evil to Hope. 45 million is the average salary of the 5th highest paid QB, and right now he's the number 2 in
Man,
passing and leading in touchdowns. So I was talking about 40 million. So that probably looks like a big time steal if we were able to get him for 1 year for 40 million. Speaking of, we're talking about Cousins here. Al, what were you thinking about the play so far with Kirk Cousins?
I mean, it's elite, but he can like do better than what he's been doing. You know, most of it is not his fault. Well, some of it is his fault because he can't keep the ball in his hands, and you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah, I
like,
agree with you. A little more, it's called the blind side for a reason.
yeah, and you know,
But
like,
yeah, he should maybe. Yeah, there's this catch-22. We want him to throw the ball downfield, and we want to get rid of it quickly. So it's tough to do
yeah,
on long developing plays. But yeah, if we had if Darisaw was there on that left tackle, we probably don't have a strip sack fumble. But he's out right now, and Oliudo's out, and I honestly I think if Quisenberry was in there instead of Oliudo, he probably doesn't give up that blindside sack. I think he's a better player. But yeah, it's like a culmination of crap all accumulating in one
yeah.
minute.
Yeah,
I mean,
my biggest two complaints about Cousins is that he's not very good at feeling pressure.
I
Certain
agree with
quarterbacks have a
you.
knack for it, and to me, he's more athletic than what he plays. He needs, like, when there's a
Yeah, I
third
think
and
it's a
three
choice.
and the hole opens
He
up,
chooses
he
not
just
to
needs
be
to run,
athletic though.
but he doesn't run. It's like a mental thing. He
I
just
think
does not run.
he chooses to stand in the pocket, and that's why. And I said that last year, and I said it the preseason. He chooses to stand in the pocket and take the hit rather than evade. And when you're thinking of it, is he better off if he runs? Does he get hurt? Does he fumble? What happens there if he throws it, takes the hit? Is it better? Did he do better doing that way? So I
I'm
just really tough to decide if like him be standing in the pocket and taking the hit and delivering the ball. Would it have been better if he runs out of the pocket more, like that throw to Addison? He could have ran for 15-20 yards, right? But
but
no,
man,
he
but
threw it downfield to Addison. I don't
yeah,
know. It's tough decision for me.
But even doing that, stepping up and throwing the ball like he did, he doesn't do that enough either.
yeah.
Well,
Like
usually
I
he
agree
doesn't
with
have any
him.
room to step up, but yeah, that's another problem, and hopefully it's solved by Risner.
Man, I really hope that he get Ty Chandler involved. He's too good not to be great.
Man,
Like
you
he's
and me think alike, man. Ty Chandler, I was big on him. I thought he was
like
the
he's
second
too
best
good.
steal of the 21 draft for us,
Like
outside of Naylor. Go ahead.
he's too good not to get touches.
He's fast.
He's still like, and think about you can use like a Reggie Bush or something like that. Like you can use like a Reggie Bush or just like use him as a Reggie Bush on like passing downs, and you can just have him run to the edge, like on the right, stretch the ball out to the edge and have him run. You know,
Only 16, and he's talking about Reggie Bush, man. That's good. You know your stuff.
because
Yeah, Reggie Bush had a big time niche, and he was definitely an awesome third down back. And I think Ty Chandler, because of those running back screens and his effectiveness there, I think he's kind of earned him some playing time moving forward. Unfortunately, we just don't run the ball enough,
Yeah, and that's KOC's problem. He can't run. He can't use evade the run. He gotta keep running the ball, man. Like just don't run up the middle. Like run it, like stretch it to outside or the right side. You know what I'm saying?
We got one vote here for Linval Joseph to come back. I'm talking about any
I'm
big
good on
ass
that
person
one.
we can put at nose tackle. I don't know if it's the 400-pound dude off the street. I don't know, but just someone to put in there on first down.
Hey man, listen. I'm good on Lamar Joseph. I'll take Akeem Hicks or something like that.
Yep, that's what we were talking about.
I'll take Akeem Hicks over Lamar Joseph. Even though he got that like that pick six in Philly like a couple of years ago, that was a cool play, by the way.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that was iconic.
Yeah, and also there's one more. I have a hot take.
Oh, here it comes. Go ahead.
They should get Jordan Addison then the receiver number 2 spot. It's clear that he's a receiver number 2. He isn't. KJ is not the guy no more. Even though KJ should get more touches at the ball, I'm saying he gonna have to like learn. Like he got learn for his mistakes because he dropped 2 crucial passes that could have won us the game.
Well, it would have made us get downfield and used up less time if he would have caught those balls. Yeah, it's definitely a problem. And you kind of look back at the interception by Kirk at the Bucs. That guy tore the ball out of KJ's hands with one hand, and they rule that an interception. And now you look at the 2 drops wide open. You're kind of wondering maybe that was KJ and not Kirk. That pass. But a hot take. I'm not going to call it a hot take because I think everybody in the world probably agrees with you about Jordan Addison's a special player, and special players need to be playing in front of players.
And only like if I'm KOC, or use Madison as like a third down, like a Matt Asiata.
Yep.
Matt Asiata, when he's be at the 1 yard, like just throwing on him. Like he's running the ball through him. Easy touchdown.
Yep. Hey, we're gonna close up the show here. I'm gonna let you go, man. I appreciate you're on all my shows all the time, man, and I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
I'll let you go, man. And I want to bring you on some other time too. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for support, man.
You're a smart dude, man. I appreciate you coming on. Keep up the good work.
Hey, tell Rabbit to hi though.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Yeah,
Al says hi.
I'll see you at the next show.
All right. So we're on together Tuesday nights on Skull Live on Purple and Scold Media. So check that one out. All right, later, man.
I'll be there.
All right, so Dave, real quick, the best defensive tackles that are free agents right now is Javon Hargrave, Dalvin Tomlinson,
Dalvin Tomlinson's available?
That's what it says on this list right now. I don't know if it's true or not. Let me go back. Let me see. Free. Okay, I switched to a different one. Let me see. Let me see. I think Puna is available though. Let me see. That's actually usually always right. Let's see. I know Linval's available. I think. What about Sue? He's available too.
Yeah, so I really want that. Nose tackles. Any one of those guys kind of sound pretty good to just give us a try. Come in and try. They should be flying these guys in and seeing what they got. They should really be doing that. But who knows? Maybe it was just a game plan thing. I don't know. It's just
no. They don't have the guys.
Well, I mean, that it was that bad. I know they don't have the right guys, but that it was that bad that maybe it was a game plan thing. Yeah, he says Gil agrees with these things. Sue's available too. I didn't see anybody pick him up. I didn't realize Tomlinson wasn't on a team, but then they don't list Akeem Hicks there. I seen him as a free agent. And I did a video about him earlier this year. But hey, guys, I've been on for an hour and 15. I appreciate it. Oh, stay on.
Hey, Dave, like I said, the message, man, anytime.
Yeah, sure. Let me say goodbye and hang on. Don't jump off. But hey, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for showing up. We got Dalton Risner. I'm excited. Let's go. Let's do it. All the way. Skull of the bowl. All right. That's it. Skull Vikings.